My mind must come to rest. I need to find shelter from all the noise. Everything is becoming increasingly difficult.
Seconds in Eternity. Oh, I loved this. This was so deeply stylized, and it had this lovely kind of David Lynch quality to it. Maybe it's this like a Blue Velvet influence. It was just pulsing with mystery and sensuality. It was both dramatic yet soulful at the same time. And I think this really did rest on the performances being grounded and all playing the same game, which they were. Beautiful cinematography, my goodness, really captured the textures and evoked an old Hollywood type focus to it, which allowed that roller coaster, that swell of emotions to wash over us in a pretty brilliant way. So I very much love this piece. I thought it was very unexpected and traversed into some kind of raw emotional places, which I very much appreciated. Great pacing throughout as well. And I liked the different title cards to let it affect us, to let whatever previously came bounce off of it and set the tone for each section. And yeah, it gave me kind of an old Hollywood quality to it with the title cards. I really appreciate that.
Seconds in Eternity, beautiful title for what is a beautiful short. I really liked the mesh elements of the touches of noir in those self-reflective black and white sequences, even at one point, holding a gun to oneself, balanced with the more melodrama and sentimentalism of the rest of the piece. It's such a self-reflective piece of looking at the past when living the future that you never expected necessarily to live, and finding a way forward by kind of garnering that strength that your younger self had and realizing that it's still very much inside you and being able to have this new beginning. While it can be quite somber at points, ultimately in its concluding performance, it's a really uplifting message and an uplifting piece overall. Wonderful job.
Seconds in Eternity. I love this. I related to this a lot, and I just think anybody can relate to this. And I thought just from the beginning with the black and white flowers and how they were opening and then dying and the petals falling, just such a beautiful imagery for this film. I love the seize the day quote and all the quotes throughout. There's so many quotes I was writing down. I'm like, I can't keep up with them all because they're all just so amazing. And the nuggets of wisdom I truly loved in this. The writing was great. The narration, the acting in the scenes. Just love this a lot. The aging, the death in life, all those kind of mixed in so well. And that, all we have is the now. And we always have a younger self. And we always have an older self as long as we're alive. So I just thought it was really great. Beautiful colors in the colorful world as well. And I love how she says the scent of youth made me kind of smile. Really nice attention to detail with the camera work, the shots. I like the up close shots, the lighting of the cigarette and all the shoes, all the different shots there. I felt immortal just like her, not be afraid, death until it comes to us, we should enjoy life. I really like that line as well. Just so many nice messages in this. How she's seeing through her younger eyes, but now that she wants to see through her younger eyes, but now that she's older, she's all worry and fear. The right moment to be happy is now. There is only now. I love how he talks about the bus of your life and did you pick a nice seat, but then who's behind the wheel? That's interesting to me because it's like, isn't there a balance of enjoying life and then steering where we want to go? I think there's that's an interesting perspective, and nice lighting throughout as well. Cinematography was great, locations, hair, wardrobe, all of that. Editing, directing, beautifully done. I love this idea and really well executed. Great job.
Seconds in Eternity. I thought this was really intriguing and really kind of beautiful. This idea of kind of coming to terms with aging and not necessarily losing something, but realizing that you don't have as much time, that you're not as young as you once were, that, I think there's a point where all of us kind of like we're on the precipice of our whole lives are ahead of us. And when you go past that, when you are suddenly looking back and you no longer have the hope and the possibilities in the beginning of being at the beginning of, the rest of your life, I think that it's something that a lot of us would probably have to come to terms with and will have to come to terms with, of no longer being in that moment. And I think that they did such a great job, especially with the black and white versus the color, for the kind of flashbacks as she's, reviewing big moments of her life and things that she misses or things that were big turning points, things that she was learning. And then the kind of like letter to herself, I thought was great at the end, to just kind of recapture the spirit and recapture the energy that she had when she was still full of hope and that she was still, so excited to be where she was at. And, she didn't necessarily know how the rest of it was going to turn out yet, but she had that kind of joy. And it seemed that, like, as she got older, she lost some of that. And by being able to reread that letter, by being able to kind of put yourself back in that position, I think that she reclaimed some of that joy. And I think that that's really, really beautiful.
This film is called Seconds in Eternity. This was a mesmerizing film. What I liked most about it was the philosophical approach it takes. So many poetic words that show a journey from depression and loneliness to that of joy and gratefulness. The project does a fabulous job contrasting the dark, gloomy black and white scenes with the woman considering days gone by with the colorful scenes of life, friendship, and vitality. This is also the case for the upbeat flashbacks. I enjoyed the scenes in Thailand too, such a beautiful location, as the lead searches for answers to the big questions. Excellent music, both sung and instrumental under the action. The on-camera and voiceover performances were both wonderful. Well done.